Well, Lee, one of our country's best racetracks, Mid-Ohio, boasts 13 corners that are totally unique in the world of racing. This place defines the phrase natural terrain road course. There are two key passing areas, the entry to turn 2, also known as the keyhole, and at the end of the long back straight entering turn 4. But to lay down a fast lap at Mid-Ohio, you have to nail turn 1, a very fast, nearly flat-out corner. This track demands finesse, endurance, and respect.
It most certainly does, and that's why we see terrific racing. We also see the IZOD two-seater. Now, you can get in on Honda's fastest seat in sports sweepstakes by logging on to shophonda.com, and you could be sitting where Ross Ellison from Ocala, Florida is right now, behind the legend Mario Andretti. Hi, Ross. It's Lee Diffie in the NBC Sports booth. What did Mario tell you before your ride?
He said, don't worry about a thing, just enjoy the ride.
And are you?
And I'm enjoying it.
All right. It sounds like it's taken your breath away, Ross. We'll leave you to it and enjoy the ride behind Mario Andretti. And by logging on to shophonda.com, Ross won the opportunity to start today's race in the IZOD two-seater, as we just saw. And we thank Mario Andretti for doing a fabulous job as well. So, here they are, warming up the tyres. They'll do 2, maybe 3 laps before we see the green, and the time will start when they cross the finish line. However, typical and traditional here at Mid-Ohio, they will not start until down the back straight, heading through turn 3 on the way to turn 4. Here's a snapshot of the grid. Ryan Hunter-Reay, 5th career pole, alongside Will Power Townsend, who is desperate for a victory.
Good run for him. Marco Andretti having a very strong qualifying, making the top 6 for the first time in a few years.
Let's take it back to row 3, Ryan. Sitting there, let's have a look. Charlie Kimball, Dario Franchitti, teammates.
Yeah, 2 more Ganassi cars in the top 6. They've just been strong all weekend, and Kimball even going to the backup car very fast.
For me, these 2 guys are the quiet achievers of the weekend. Look out for Wilson and Pagenaud.
No question. Going back, another strong qualifying performance. Haven't seen that for a while out of Simona, our early season superstar. James Jakes with a great top 10 qualifying start.
And it's his 26th birthday today, so we wish him a happy birthday and wish him a good race. Hinchcliffe was a little bit miffed, Ryan, that he just missed out on progressing and advancing to the next phase of qualifying.
Oh, just a product of the lap times being so close in qualifying. I think there are so many drivers in the grid saying if I was just 1/10 faster, I would have progressed.
And that was the story of the weekend. How about Sebastian Bourdais coming off back-to-back podiums in Toronto? He's got his hands full here with a challenge with the points leader.
Absolutely. Moving on back to row 8, Takuma Sato, our championship leader after Long Beach, has really fallen down the run. He's starting today on row 8, and then James Davison out of Australia. Pretty impressive first weekend for this young guy. He's been working for years to make this happen.
All right, Ryan, give us the keys and the secret to success. You won here in 2008. You know how to manage this field and this racetrack. What are we looking for today? What are the keys?
Well, I mean, obviously starting at the front is big, but depending on how the yellows fall, it could become a fuel mileage race. It's going to be close between 2 stops or 3 stops. But on the start and restart, aggression is going to be big. I think one of the guys to watch is going to be Castro Neves, being very aggressive on the start, trying to make up as many spots as he can early on.
All right, let's take you and show you some different views, because we've got some onboards throughout this field. And we start with Graham Rahal. This is what the battery tender onboard camera looks like, and we'll be riding with Graham. This is a massive weekend for he and his dad Bobby and the Rahal family. This is their home track, so it's a big day. The man who was taking Ryan Briscoe's seat in the Panther number 4, the National Guard car, is Oriol Servia, and this is the National Guard onboard camera. That's what it looks like for the Spaniard. He's pleased to be back in the seat. The birthday boy, James Jakes, has the Acorn stair lifts on board, and this is the view we'll see from him and many others. Some multiple views aboard the second Rahal entry. And then Dario Franchitti, the 4-time series champion in the number 10 Target car. He has the Verizon streaming. And remember, we told you about it a little earlier in the show, download the IndyCar 13 app by calling ** Indy or search the App Store or Google Play only from Verizon. We'll see what kind of a day Dario has after some frustration in Toronto. The man on the move, and he is Mr. Mid-Ohio. Scott Dixon gives us the Verizon view on board the number 9 Target car. And then our final onboard camera in the race is brought to you by Chevy, and it is the Verizon Chevrolet of Will Power. So, he told me this morning he needs to win, he wants to win, he has to win. Will it be his day? The race has technically started time-wise, but it's about to begin for real now when Ryan Hunter-Reay and Will Power see the green. Here we go, the Honda Indy 200 at Mid-Ohio is underway. They stretch their legs for the first time down to turn 4. Look at Charlie Kimball on the inside and aggressive.
Half back.
Frank Keedy around the outside. Kimball, the teammates are side by side into 5.
Looking pretty clean so far through the first 2 corners.
And that's good. Good work. Respectful driving. No clumsy collisions. And they're racing hard on the opening lap.
Don't forget, last year we went caution-free the entire time, which is impossible to believe. I'd be blown away if it happens again this year. Look at the guys getting loose, Ryan, coming off of turn 9.
Yeah, still very cold tyres and surprising, you know, not even a wheel off so far this lap. So everyone giving each other a lot of respect, and maybe thinking back to all the offs in practice, people they're all sort of getting their heads in line.
End of the first flying lap. Ryan Hunter-Reay, Will Power, Scott Dixon. There's James Hinchcliffe working on James Jakes. And look all the way back at the end of the field, that bright blue Barracuda Networks car of Luca Filippi. He'll be desperate to make up positions because he set a time good enough to be in the Firestone Fast 6 and progress. But he couldn't. He's on the inside here of Rahal. There is the 27-year-old Italian, aggressive early on.
He was looking to the outside, but then Graham shot to the outside to take away the braking zone, and Filippi discovered how much grip is on the inside racing line of the keyhole.
So close.
He had never driven an IndyCar until this Wednesday, and in just the second practice session was 5th quickest. He wants to make a name for himself here in the United States. He almost won the GP2 championship 2 years ago in Europe. He's a very skilled driver.
Unfortunately, he's realizing the penalty for that mistake in qualifying, going off, causing the red flag, losing his quickest laps. It is so tough to get through the field here.
Oriol Servia in the Panther National Guard car has made 3 places early on. Good start.
Yeah, definitely moving forward. He said he's got a great car. He made a little mistake in the keyhole in qualifying, but he said he's got a good car.
Tell us more, Kevin.
Yeah, we talked to Oriol this morning, and he talked about what you just mentioned, Ryan, that they went too far on the downforce this morning. He was never happier with the car yesterday. He just made a little bit of mistake in qualifying.
And again, the pink paint scheme is celebrating the key role that females play in the military. The National Guard car, that's the 3rd time. We saw it at Kentucky a couple of years ago and here at Mid-Ohio here last year. Charlie Kimball is on the attack.
Tires consistency started to carry over into an advantage over the Reds.
So we're up and running at Mid-Ohio for the Honda Indy 200, and the man who won last year's championship leads this race. Hunter-Reay told us earlier this weekend, I am on maximum attack, I must win.
A woman and her truck. A woman, her truck, and a 1,200-pound passenger. And 2 bodies with 1 mind. And a ribbon that goes on her wall, not in her hair. The all-new Chevy Silverado with the best available towing and a full-size pickup. Strong for all the roads ahead.
Introducing a car company that's never made a single car. We took the power of a 9-year-old V8 and gave it the impressive handling of Firestone's Destination tire. Now, moms agree. Every milk run feels like a victory lap. So whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
It's your chance to win one of over 500,000 music prizes. Bud Light Music First. Here we go.
Tottenham Hotspur's new manager.
A-team I coach, they're going to play hard for all 4 quarters, okay?
2 halves.
Okay, halves. We're going to play hard for 2 halves. And we're going to play till there's a winner and there's a loser. What's that?
A tie.
Okay, till there's a winner, a loser, or a tie. Yeah, do we have any goals this season? Absolutely. We're going to win a lot of games. We're going to get in the playoffs.
No playoffs.
There's no playoffs. My job just got a lot easier.
Premier League is on NBC and the NBC Sports Network, August 17th.
The DHL Andretti Autosport Chevy, driven by Ryan Hunter-Reay, leads by almost 1.5 seconds over Will Power. Running high where he needs to be to try and grab more points and try and get his first victory of the year, Will Power. This is Graham Rahal And this is what the battery tender onboard shows us. Check this out. Good hard racing with Joseph Newgarden. Newgarden goes to the inside to defend.
Now, that might have looked like a block, but that's actually the racing line here at Mid-Ohio as you apex that kink. And, whoa, he did not give him any favors in return at the apex of turn 4.
The Midas machine on the move. And now Graham Rahal is working on Luca Filippi. Filippi had made up the most positions in the field. He's made up 3 already. And now Graham wants to reduce that. He wants that to Graham Rahal. That's good forceful driving. He knows this track so well from in the junior categories that he drove in, and just by coming here for so many years as a kid. Let's check in with Marty.
Well, as we go through the field, Lee, we'll start with the guy up front, Ryan Hunter-Reay. And the last time we were at a natural road course was Barber Motorsports Park earlier this year. That day, Ryan Hunter-Reay started on the pole, led the most laps, won the race. Today, started on the pole and has led every lap so far. Now, they're giving him fuel numbers, which may mean they're going to try a 2-strap strategy today, but they'll need 11 laps of caution to pull that off. In second position, behind him, Will Power. He told me going into Toronto, we honestly thought we still had a shot at the championship. I had to relax over a couple weeks off and try and get that out of my mind, just focusing on race wins right now. Behind him, Scott Dixon started third, running third. He said, I've never really been comfortable this weekend, although he's obviously very good at Mid-Ohio, still searching for a little bit here this weekend, Jan.
And, of course, his teammate, Charlie Kimball, right behind. We've talked about his big crash that he had in turn number 1. Remember, he is driving a spare car. They switched the cars. Look at him close in on Scott Dixon. Amazing by the Ganassi crew how quickly they changed that car over.
And Jan Dario Franchitti back there in the fifth position, rather, hanging in right there. The car a little bit too tight. He just radioed into the crew. They said they heard his transmission. You know, Ganassi has won 4 straight races here. Dario would like to add to that number and make it 5 straight, Jan.
And Justin Wilson did not have his practice sessions go the way that he wanted. They actually had an electrical issue that caused a fuel pressure problem. He missed much of the practice, but now says the car is better. Right behind him is Simona Di Silvestro. We mentioned that right here on this section of the racetrack, there's a speed trap, and when you see the practice speeds, she was amongst the fastest. They're running a little bit lower on wing. Expect that'll help her for passing later.
Jan Marco Andretti has dropped 4 spots back in 8, but keep in mind, as mentioned, he's the only one of the front runners right now in the primary harder black tires.
9 there, the car always gets a bit loose, but he's lucky not to spin that thing all the way around.
Down into Thunder Valley, that is a high-speed section of this track, and Oriol Servius catching the car and catching his breath.
Absolutely. You see Tristan Vautier peels off, the first of the Hondas, I think, to make a pit stop. Servius got to clean it up here and try to keep that thing in line.
Tristan Vautier qualified 11th, but he had to start back in 21st because of an engine change. In the warm-up today, his car caught fire, and he actually lost throttle control and had to scoot it into the tires a little bit to get stopped. So they changed the engine, and Vautier has already picked up 2 spots before this early stop.
And remember that Tristan Vautier is a Firestone Indy Lights champion, but he's never raced here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course until last weekend when he raced a Van Diemen F1600 Honda-powered car. This is what happened to Oriol. Just
a little bit of wheel spin there. The car gets really light, negative G. Wheel spin leads to getting loose, and man, I'll bet he's surprised he hung on to that. That's about as close as it gets.
Now you could just hear the engine spinning. That's a good save.
Good save.
Water was boring, so we changed it into a drink you can flavor your way with Mio. Add it to water, flavor it the way you want. Nothing's exploding. Let's change that. Mio is awesome.
I spent 45 years in IndyCar racing. I've been a mechanic, a car builder, an engineer, a team manager, and now a team owner. I'm truly living the dream. It all started at Lincoln Tech. Lincoln Tech is the national leader in training for careers that build America.
At Honda, we know some people are never happy with the way things are and are always dreaming of how they could be. Because things can always be better. We like those people. They think like us. Introducing the best Civic sedan yet. Made possible by Honda.
Honda, proud partner of the IZOD IndyCar Series. The Acorn Stairless team is going to have to make a pit stop. They'll have to make this a quick one to stay in its current position.
Yep, the car is up, and it looks like it'll be 4 tires and fuel. Hold on, where's the driver going? This is a bit of a surprise, folks. He seems to have disappeared.
What must the poor pit crew be thinking?
I know what I'd be thinking. Whatever he's doing, it better not take long.
In all my years of broadcasting, I have never seen anything like this. All right, he's back.
And none too soon, I tell you. Acorn Stairlifts. Installed in no time flat.
29th year of IndyCar at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, and what a day we've got to go racing. It's a little cooler today than what it was yesterday. Nice breeze blowing, giving the teams and drivers some respite, and nothing has changed while we're in the break. Ryan Hunter-Reay 1.6 seconds out in front from Power, Dixon, Kimball, Franchitti, Wilson, Simona Di Silvestro is 7th, Marco Andretti, Pagenaud and Bourdais. And look at this.
Yeah, Lee, I've been watching Marco Andretti slide back a little bit through the field, but as we talked about earlier, he started on the black tires. Most of his competitors around him on reds. You see Charlie Kimball going around the outside of turn 4. Dario Franchitti on the inside of turn 4. Here's Justin Wilson up the inside again. The lap times have started to stabilize, so perhaps we're getting close to that window where the compromise he had given up in the beginning is starting to come back to him. Man, but Pagenaud got around him there, and Bourdais is all over the back of Marco Andretti.
And Pagenaud there, he's on the same tyre as Marco, so Marco clearly struggling a bit with the setup of his car.
Is he struggling, or is he running to a number? Is he trying to conserve fuel? What's he doing?
Watching Pagenaud blow by.
Marco was pleased with his qualifying performance yesterday by making the Firestone Fast 6. I was a little frustrated that he didn't do better. He said, I had more in the RC Kohler car.
Red. Sebastian's on red.
That's the voice of Kyle Moyer just painting the picture for Marco Andretti from the Andretti Autosport pit box.
I'm realizing that our comments reflect how much improvement Marco's had, Kevin.
Pit on this lap, please.
That's Kyle Moyer talking to Marco Andretti, and this you're seeing is Oriol Servia. This is a challenging pit location. He thinks this is the toughest. It's coming uphill, and it makes it very difficult to launch. Jan?
Takuma Sato is also taking advantage of some early pit strategy. Of course, this is a Honda power plant, so this isn't necessarily about mileage. It's about hoping for a yellow and hoping to pick up track position.
Huge day for the ABC Supply Company, who sponsor AJ Foyt Racing. They've got over 700 guests here cheering Takuma Sato on, hoping he can do well. But at the beginning of the race, it all went backwards for Sato, who dropped into the low 20s. So I'm not quite sure what happened in the opening stanza of his race. He needs to try and turn it around. It's all sunshine on the DHL Chevy for Ryan Hunter-Reay. Nobody has led this race other than the 32-year-old from Florida. Here's Andretti.
Wide open here. 3, 2,
Marco has been looking forward to getting off of these black tires. They're going to scuffed reds on this one. Andretti on lap 16 makes his first start, went from 4th to 8th, and he's going to hope to find some open track position and pick up some time here, Marty.
Kevin, your championship leader did not make the progress that they would have liked. They're going to take off scuffed reds, put on sticker reds for Helio Castroneves. They'll have to have primary tires for this final run. When they do make another stop, they blend in behind Marco Andretti, but Helio Castroneves not making the progress he wanted, Lee.
And Luca Filippi made a stop in the Brian Herter Autosport Barracuda Networks car. You hear the guys talking about black and red tires. The red wall tires are the softer compound and the black are the harder. You must run both compounds of tire at least once to conform to IZOD IndyCar Series rules. It's looking smooth out front for this man, though.
It is looking so smooth. There's absolutely no evidence that Ryan is slowing down at all. He's in the low 108s consistently. The car looks really balanced.
So things are looking good for him.
And when you look at the scope of his championship, it's feast or famine for Ryan Hunter-Reay. At the moment, he's chowing down. It has been a fixture on the road race calendar in North America for many, many years. Mid-Ohio was opened in '62. Some 20 years later was purchased by renowned road racer and the founder of Red Roof Inns, Jim Truman. And there has been so much history created at this legendary circuit. And nobody has more IndyCar wins at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course than the red car running third, Scott Dixon. Let's check in with Jan. Jan?
Yeah, but he was getting a lot of heat from behind from this man, Charlie Kimball, and we kind of said during the break, we didn't have a thought that he was saving fuel. It looked like he was really pushing behind Scott Dixon, and this would be the answer now that he's gone for the Reds. Nice quick stop. It's not going to be as long. When you see 7.3, that's because they haven't necessarily emptied everything out. They're doing this again for track position.
You got Ray Hall coming by you now.
Ryan, talk about that coaching from the radio, from the pit box. How important is that to you? How much do you enjoy having all of that information and the picture painted for you?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, the consistency is the most important thing, and some drivers like the countdown. I've always sort of been used to a countdown, but as long as it's the same every time, it's just sort of all about the rhythm of hitting your marks and having a clean stop.
So much fun to ride along with Will Power in second, trying to track down Ryan Hunter-Reay. His car has way too much oversteer. That rear end sliding around every corner. They've asked him to work with a front bar on the car, trying to make it last as long as they can. The interesting thing that is developing, Lee, I think these front guys might be trying to make it on 2 stops. Now, the Chevys, from what I'm told, will need about 11 laps of caution to make that happen. But all the communication, both with Will Power and Ryan Hunter-Reay, is about their fuel number, about how much fuel they're using, and Michael Andretti coaching Ryan Hunter-Reay. That's a good lap. That's not a good lap. Give me a little bit more. So that seems to me to indicate they may be trying to make a fuel play and make this on 2 stops.
And it's 2 Chevrolet-powered cars in 1 and 2. The first Honda is Scott Dixon in 3. The Honda guys are feeling a lot more confident.
For a lap in this stint. I mean, I think they're all going to need a caution to make
being
it on
the last
stops.
one to stop.
But if you can go 1 lap further than your opposition, then you have an extra lap on hot tyres, and that's track position during the pit stops.
You're listening to the voice of Ryan Briscoe, the 2008 winner of the Mid-Ohio IndyCar race. He is out, recovering from a broken wrist, but will be back at Sonoma at the next round of the championship.
Now for Justin Wilson, he had exactly what he wanted in this morning's warm-up. They made a change that was the wrong way. He said the reason that was good, I came back and said, no guys, that's definitely the wrong way. They stepped the other direction and they bracketed the way he wants his car to handle. And Ryan, you know how that goes. Sometimes you're always searching, and sometimes a wrong choice on the setup actually heads you in the right direction.
Yeah, it's trial and error, and sometimes it takes those mistakes to learn something and go the other way.
One of the things I'm watching here, guys, is the lap times have started to fall a little bit now. So Hunter-Reay,
Ohio, Sebastian Bourdais got his best result of the 2012 season when he finished 4th. The Dragon guys are riding high on momentum at the moment. Jay Penske and his crew are pumped about that double podium in Toronto. There's EJ Viso coming through shot. Let's check in with Robin Miller.
Hey, Lee, at the press conference yesterday, Ryan Hunter-Reay says, I think it's going to take 3 pit stops. And Scott Dixon looked over at him and raised his eyebrow with a little grin and said, maybe for you, amigo, but I'm in a Honda. And I was at the famous Honda Pocono slaughter when Chevrolet... Okay, Kevin, take this pit stop away, brother.
Yeah, here's Graham Rahal making his first stop. He did not get any testing time on Wednesday. He said they've been trying to catch up all weekend, but he thinks they finally made some good strides this weekend. But so far, he's not been able to pick up a lot of space except for people coming in. Also, Sebastian Saavedra, there he is, getting back out on track. He pitted from 12th position.
And Luca Filippi going through shot there, and Graham Rahal can resume their battle. That was pretty entertaining a little earlier in the race.
Let's go, baby.
So meanwhile, up front, it's as close as it's been. Will Power is within 0.8 of a second of this man here, Ryan Hunter-Reay.
He is lead, but the top 8 are within 4 seconds of each other. If this stays green, Ryan, the out laps, the in laps, and the pit stops are everything.
It's going to be huge, and it's a tough pit lane here. I mean, we've talked about the hill, and if there are mistakes on pit road, they seem to happen here, so it's going to be key to watch that.
Go 3, 2, 1.
After Sebastian Bourdais gets counted into his pit box, one of the things that he's been finding over the weekend, the car has been wicked loose. They've been trying all weekend to try to settle that down, and they go to the front wing. Wow, look at all that front wing they do for Sebastian Bourdais. That is a big, big change.
And that looked like 2 turns of front wing that they just put into his wing, so he must have been battling a bit of understeer and just trying to make the front look a bit better.
Is it also that when they're going to blacks that they have to compensate arrow-wise? Because I always hear that when they throw the reds on, you pick
wing though, so that'll be interesting to see.
We're faster laps here today, And this is going to be fascinating. Who blinks first? Is it going to be Hunter Ray? Will it be Power? How far can Scott Dixon, Mr. Mid-Ohio, go? All those questions answered when we come back.
The drivers of Quicken Loans. Elio Castroneves, Ryan Newman, Will Power, and Tony Stewart. They are engineered to accelerate, engineered to dominate, engineered with muscle and brains, engineered for victory lane. For a home loan experience that's just as amazing as our drivers, call Quicken Loans, engineered to amaze.
A woman and her truck. A woman, her truck, and a 1,200-pound passenger. And two bodies with one mind. And a ribbon that goes on her wall, not in her hair. The all-new Chevy Silverado with the best available towing and a full-size pickup. Strong for all the roads ahead.
Command has been given. Row 1, let me know. Row 1 on.
Live in-car cameras.
Base car rolling.
4-in-1 Mosaic. Having your heart race as fast as theirs.
Here we go.
Very good for green.
That's powerful.
Come to the green flag.
Download IndyCar 13 now, only from Verizon. Give me your street circuits, your ovals. Give me your road courses and your cathedrals of speed. Give me drivers who live to put it all on the line and cars unlike any other. Because this is America, and here we race IndyCar.
In 2 weeks on the NBC Sports Network.
And that's more likely to happen as the tyres get old, and then you'll get that vibration. But staying out one more lap, look at that. So they just must know that.
So he got his first IndyCar win earlier this year at Detroit. It has not gone his way. He's 5th in the championship. He said, I should be vying to win this championship. So he's on the attack.
Very strong move, but if he gets some yellow, he might be on a similar strategy, but right now he last pit on lap 25. He's going to have to stop 2 more times to make it under green on that pace.
That's 5 laps earlier than the man he just passed as we ride with Will Power. Charlie Kimball, what a story he's been this weekend. And Ryan, were you impressed with how he came back from that violent accident yesterday?
No, it just didn't faze him at all. And so much confidence, I think, in the team to give him a backup car that he was going to be confident was going to perform at least as good as his primary.
So this is where they stand on pit stop rotation. You saw the first 2, Kimball and then Hinchcliffe, and then the 3rd place Simon Pagenaud, and then behind him Ryan Hunter-Ray.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are just praying for a caution. If the yellow comes out and it goes yellow for 5 or 6 laps, these guys can get the podium.
But the nature of this track, mate, at this race, we don't see a lot of yellow.
Well, I mean, last year we didn't, but in years past we have. I'm really just shocked to see what a flawless, run everybody's having in terms of no yellows. We saw Serbia almost cause one. The other thing that's surprising, the red tires absolutely are not falling off at all. The lap times are very consistent. In fact, Charlie Kimball just went into the 106s.
And for that lack of yellow, perhaps we should praise the 2 new guys in the field, James Davison and Luca Filippi.
Same idea. They know that they pitted early. They're out of the window. The only way this is going to work for them today is they go as quickly as they can, and they hope that those behind will not be able to save enough fuel to close that gap. Definitely 2 strategies going. Awesome to see how this will all shake out.
Honda, we know some people just can't leave things be. They wonder how much faster this thing could go. What if it weighed less or turned sharper? They know that things can always be better. We count ourselves among those people. Introducing the quicker, sleeker, smarter, best Civic Si yet, made possible by Honda.
Honda, proud partner of the IZOD IndyCar Series.
Water was boring, So we changed it into a drink you can flavor your way. With Mio, add it to water, flavor it the way you want. Nothing's exploding. Let's change that. Mio is awesome!
Your car may have been born in 1997. But give it a new set of Firestone tires, and it could feel like it's fresh off the lot. Whatever you drive a Firestone.
It's your chance to win one of over 500,000 music prizes. Bud Light Music first. Here we go.
Charlie Kimball, the 28-year-old from California, who stood on the podium in Pocono as part of that Ganassi 1-2-3, but this is how his weekend started. Boom, like that. And that was a frightening incident before qualifying. He was able to come back in his backup car and do a tremendous job to get back out there. And this was James Hinchcliffe.
Yeah, both guys pushing really, really hard. Track was a little bit wet through the weekend on the grass, so if you get off, you have absolutely no forgiveness. Now frustrating for the guys behind that are quicker, knowing, man, I'm faster, but I just got to figure out a way to get by.
Let's talk more about Castro Neves, Marty.
Well, he's starting to make up some positions now, Lee. They will pit in about 4 laps. All these guys who are on the 3-stop strategy pitting in this window, they have struggled all weekend long with the braking on the car for Helio Castro Neves. So they went back to the car and the setup they had on the Wednesday test here at Mid-Ohio. Helio told me it will only be a top 6 car as he looks to make the move around Justin Wilson. He said, but if we can finish top 6 today, that'll feel like a win to me. And remember, you were talking about the championship lead, desperately trying to hold on to that championship lead.
And Marty, one of his peers, who will remain nameless, told me earlier in the weekend, the interesting thing about seconds, but we'll see the Frenchman hit soon. We'll be back.
Ike? Come on over, the Bears are on. We don't get that game here with cable. Just got DirecTV NFL Sunday Ticket. You can watch your favorite team no matter where you live. It's like we're back in Chicago.
He's going antiquing.
He's not going antiquing. But I got you this.
Become the world's most powerful fan. Get NFL Sunday Ticket at no extra charge. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Electricity is added to a guitar, and rock and roll is born. A one-piece swimsuit is cut in two, and beaches are never the same. Conviction, creativity, courage. This is the Mazda way. The Mazda 6 with Skyactiv technology delivers best-in-class highway MPG and uncompromised performance. This is the modern sports sedan, the Mazda 6. What do you drive?
Prolific goal scorer Jack McInerney leads the rising Philadelphia Union against DC United. All rise for MLS. Saturday at 8 on the NBC Sports Network. 2 great races, both on one day. First, the Formula 1 Shell Belgian Grand Prix, Sunday, August 25th at 7:30 a.m. Then, the GoPro Indy Grand Prix of Sonoma at 4, all on the NBC Sports Network.
It's August 17th. We're looking forward to that. Exciting times. And again, it's every match, every week on NBC Sports and NBCSN. The Barclays English Premier League, just a couple of weeks away. We're right on board with Scott Dixon. We're going to let you have a listen, and Ryan Briscoe's going to explain something for you. Just listen for a moment.
Yeah, you can hear by how he's saving fuel, just coasting. Very light on the throttle, trying not to brake at all, and just hear that rolling into the corners. I mean, and he's got to be so frustrated right now because he knows that he could be driving so much faster, and
he's got a tough way to go racing. It's all about making that fuel number.
I can't imagine how frustrating that must be for drivers like you and T-Bell, Ryan. But on the radio a moment ago, Scott Dixon came on and he said, "Are you guys sure about this strategy? It's just so slow out here." And I think his teammate Dario Franchitti finally gave up on that strategy. He pitted a lap or so ago, came in and took 4 brand new tires. Sebastian Saavedra also pitting in the sequence as well.
Well, Marty, the guy that's working the gap really hard, Simon Pagenaud, is now almost 21 seconds ahead of Kimball. So it's yet to be seen whether the strategy is going to work out for Hunter Ray, Power, etc. Pagenaud in now.
And Townsend, that is...
Open out, watch your speed again, just like last time.
That's Rob Edwards on the radio. Now, this is going to be key from the standpoint as he is probably going to come out of the pits very, very close to Charlie Kimball. But the main person he's trying to beat is Ryan Hunter-Reay, who is on the alternate strategy.
Here comes Charlie Kimball.
Looks like Kimball's going to get by, but the person he needs to be sure he's ahead of is Ryan Hunter-Reay. So these two are on the same strategy. We expected that we would see Kimball go to the lead virtually. Now he's done it, but a great job by Pagenaud.
And they're well ahead of Ryan Hunter-Reay. So nice work there from the HP team, from Schmidt Hamilton Motorsports. The new winner in the IndyCar Series, Simon Pagenaud, this year. He had more podiums at this stage in 2012 on way to winning the Sunoco Rookie of the Year, but now he has a victory. This is our race leader, Charlie Kimball. Here's Graham Rahal.
And Graham has not been happy with the handling of the car so far, but Bobby Rahal has said your lap times are actually pretty much up to speed with everyone, so just hang on. He's told him you're going to have to buckle down and go after it at this point. Stop number 2, Rahal is back out.
Keep working on this. We'll go to red on the next set.
This is where it's cold tires coming into the heavy brake zone. Here we see Kimball coming up behind Sato.
There's some lap traffic now, so could get interesting.
Wow, this is interesting. Sebastian Bourdais on James Jakes. Out of 5, down the hill into 6, up into madness. The undulating nature of this Mid-Ohio sports car course, and then they drop back down the hill into Thunder Valley. And here is Scott Dixon.
And Diff clearly giving up on that 2-stop strategy is Scott Dixon, like his teammate Dario Franchitti, pitting with scuffed red tires. He said the car is pretty good. I just need some track position. I need to be able to get up and run with these guys. The strategy was a little bit too slow for Dixon, so they make...
The Ganassi guys growing tired of this conservative, fuel-safe drive, and now they can go for it.
Yeah, this is interesting, and they're just biting the bullet because they know they've lost the race by committing to that strategy early, and now they're just trying to make the most of it.
So let's see how this plays out in the long run. We are now into the second half of this 90-lap race, and both Ganassi cars will need to stop one more time. All 3 Ganassi cars will need to stop one more time.
As a driver, you're looking for every possible millimeter of an advantage to claw back to the front of this field, and it is a tightrope walk, especially coming out of the pits on full fuel and cold tires.
Big picture-wise, though, as far as the championship is concerned, and importantly today, Scott Dixon has been ahead of Helio Castro-Neves, the championship leader, every step of the way. Here is young James Davison, his first ever IndyCar drive in the Sonny's machine for Dale Coyne Racing.
Currently running P6. Now he's still has a stop to make. He's got 2 more stops to make, but it's amazing he's hanging on for his first race here. It's
Honda sweepstakes.
Now this is what's so hard. Tristan Vautier is running around the mid 108s, low 108s right now. Charlie Kimball's been running high 107s. One of the things that frustrates drivers in this series is you don't have to be right up underneath the car to get slowed up. You start up.
Yeah, good point, especially on a track like this where Hunter Ray in the pits.
Time. Make sure you hit your mark.
Well, both of the guys will pit here. Ryan Hunter-Reay and Will Power from third and fourth, respectively. Ryan Hunter-Reay has to go around Will Power's guys. It'll be sticker red tires for Ryan Hunter-Reay. He said the chassis didn't feel quite right on the end of that run. A little slow in the left rear there, waiting on the fuel for Ryan Hunter-Reay. They cannot get it engaged. Will Power will pass Ryan Hunter-Reay here on pit road. Ryan Hunter-Reay loses his spot.
I believe that Ryan Hunter-Reay pulled into his box, had to go around Power's guys and stop too far from the pit wall. That made the fuel hose too short to get all the way in.
So costly.
Something as simple as that, after grinding away for a third of the race, for 2/3 of the race. Let's relive it and watch.
Now, if you look on the ground at the inside left front tire changer, there's a piece of tape somewhere around here, and he's nowhere near it. You can see the gap there between his left front and his mark.
And guys, they told Ryan Hunter-Reay, when you come to pit road, the one thing you can't be too wide. Exactly what he was, as T-Bell was telling you. He missed the mark, and he said Will Power's guys...
It begins to try and play catch-up. Advantage Will Power, but it's advantage Charlie Kimball, who leads the way.
Dudes, get in here. Just got DirecTV, NFL Sunday ticket.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, I switched from cable. Now I get every single game every Sunday.
Oh, every game?
Yeah. It's going to be perfect Sundays from here on in, boys. You guys have enough room? There we go. That's better.
Become the world's most powerful fan. Get NFL Sunday ticket at no extra charge. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
Inside yours. Here, bud. That's turn 4, spotter. Turn 4 is clear.
Streaming 4-in-1 Mosaic.
Inside. One push to fast left. Be smart here.
Live pit crew chatter. Riding shotgun from green flag to checkered. That's powerful. Download IndyCar 13 now, only from Verizon.
Water was boring, so we changed it into a drink you can flavor your way. With Mio, add it to water, flavor it the way you want. Nothing's exploding. Let's change that. Mio is awesome!
At Honda, we know you. We know how you like to move at your own pace. And how you don't always see everything coming. Introducing a car that starts with you. The more powerful, more responsive, all-new Accord from Honda.
Honda, proud partner of the IZOD IndyCar Series.
Your car may have been born in 1997, but give it a new set of Firestone tires, and it could feel like it's fresh off the lot. Whatever you drive a Firestone.
Quick reminder that this Saturday, NBC brings you the fastest races in motocross when they face off in the home of horsepower. It's the Built Ford Tough Unadilla National. Coverage begins Saturday at 3 Eastern on NBC.
The cycle continues on pit stops, and again, we have seen that James Hinchcliffe was the very first of the day, so therefore he'll be the first for the third stop. And shortly, we'll see some of the players. Charlie Kimball is expected to be on pit road shortly, and that's going to be a stop to watch.
Hinchcliffe cycles back out in front. Can he keep it going to stay ahead of Hunter-Reay? No, Hunter-Reay sweeps around the outside, his Andretti Autosport teammate. All right, let's take you back and show you something before the break that has really hurt Ryan Hunter-Reay big time. Let's take you back. We're going to show you the slow-mo. Townsend, talk us through.
Yeah, I just think that Hunter-Reay got too wide when he finally came to a stop. If we can roll the camera a little bit farther forward, what happens here is that where Hunter-Reay's left side wants to be about on that line, you can see the distance that he is from, in just a second here, we'll keep it rolling. You'll see the distance that he actually sits from his mark once the left front tire changer comes away. That distance, that space right in there.
He's still getting up to speed with these cold tyres, but his tyres are going to be a little bit newer, so he's going to have to lay down some fast laps now and try to take advantage of these push-to passes he has.
Have a look at this. Watch for the orange car. Third in shot. This is the pass for position, for the lead, and maybe the win.
Yeah, and it looked like Pagenaud at the last second was thinking about making a block, but you're not allowed to make a reactive move, and it's kind of surprised he didn't defend earlier on down the straight.
Nice work from Charlie Kimball. If this is going to be his day, what a day. He has earned it. Kimball leads with 17 to go.
The drivers of Quicken Loans. Elio Castroneves, Ryan Newman, Will Power, and Tony Stewart. They are engineered to accelerate, engineered to dominate, engineered with muscle and brains, engineered for victory lane. For a home loan experience that's just as amazing as our drivers, call Quicken Loans, engineered to amaze.
A woman and her truck. A woman, her truck, and a 1,200-pound passenger. And two bodies with one mind. And a ribbon that goes on her wall, not in her hair. The all-new Chevy Silverado with the best available towing and a full-size pickup. Strong for all the roads ahead.
Give me your street circuits, your ovals. Give me your road courses and your cathedrals of speed. Give me drivers who live to put it all on the line and cars unlike any other. Because this is America, and here we race IndyCar.
In 2 weeks on the NBC Sports Network.
Driver in Chip Ganassi's squad, and it would make 4 right.
He said, I'm going to win this because I was the fastest, most aggressive guy. And you can see here on the back straightaway, if we pause there, when Pagano's looking in his mirrors, he can't really tell if Kimball is going to pop to the inside or outside. And Kimball did a great job to fake where he might go so as to keep Pagano uncertain at the moment of decision.
Coming up on the Sonny's Dale Coyne machine of James Davison, who runs in 16th position at the moment. He's trying to stay on the lead lap. You can see in the background there that Kimball finally cleared EJ Vizo. And this intense fight continues. Dario Franchitti is third, Will Power is fourth, Ryan Hunter-Reay is fifth, and then we join this group here, headed by Castroneves, then Andretti, then Dixon, Justin Wilson, and Hinchcliffe. There's been some contact, there's been some brushing. Nothing too savage, but take a look at this. You ride with Scott Dixon, second in the championship. This is Mr. Mid-Ohio. Watch this. Oh, just tagged Marco. That's like, get out of my way, I want to go and get Elio.
front wings are a little stronger this year, so got away with that one.
Marty?
And guys, as you can imagine, Scott Dixon a little frustrated back there. He's also frustrated with the strategy. He said, guys, we should have stayed out. In essence, saying my fault, because he was the one, remember, who bailed from that two-stop strategy. He said, you know what, let's go and stop earlier. He just told the guys we should have stayed out this time around and just gone with the two-stop strategy today.
On board with Dixon on the left-hand side there. Gives you a great view onto the front straight here. That's where the race is finished. Obviously, that's not where the race starts. And how will this one finish? Is it going to be Charlie Kimball's day? His dad, Gordon, who has some remarkable stories in motorsport, Formula One and IndyCar, is watching from home in California. Hang in there, Gordon. Your boy is doing a great job.
And Ryan, we talked about coasting and saving fuel, but there is nothing about saving fuel now with Dixon's telemetry.
Not anymore. It's all about trying to make up spots and drive as hard as you can.
Look at him getting defensive. Wilson up the inside. Scott's allowed to do that, but you leave the door open for Wilson to run the outside on you. These guys are doing a great crisscross battle.
And Wilson's been looking strong all race long. He's been making some good moves. And
Simon Pagano, he now boasts a 4.5-second lead over the Frenchman with the laps counting down.
It's your chance to win one of over 500,000 music prizes. Bud Light Music First. Here we go.
At TireRack.com, we stock an incredible number of tires, nearly 1 million tires. But we don't just stock them, we test them. And we post user reviews so you can find which tires are the best for you and your car. All this at a price that won't slow you down. And that's 1 in a million, or in most cases, 4 in a million. The biggest selection of tires. One more way Tire Rack is revolutionizing the way you buy tires. TireRack.com. Research, buy, deliver, install.
Dudes, get in here. Just got DirecTV, NFL Sunday ticket.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, I switched from cable. Now I get every single game every Sunday.
Oh, every game?
Yeah, it's gonna be perfect Sundays from here on in, boys. You guys have enough room? There we go. That's better.
Become the world's most powerful fan. Get NFL Sunday ticket at no extra charge. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
Monster waves, once thought impossible to surf, until an ingenious idea changed everything. Tow and surfing. Courageous thinking is the Mazda way. The Mazda 3 with SkyActiv technology delivers 40 highway MPG and uncompromised performance. This is the Mazda 3. What do you drive? Get the 2013 Mazda 3 with either $1,500 customer cash or 0% APR plus $500 APR cash.
Approaching the final 10 laps of the Honda Indy 200 here live on NBCSN, your home of open wheel racing. What a day. Started out pretty steady. Fantastic. And Charlie Kimball has a 4.6 second lead. It's the 5th time this year that Kimball has led a race in that Novo Nordisk Chip Ganassi racing car. And he is well.
This strategy to work, you have to stand on it. And he did that. He delivered. The only way it worked is if he was going full chat while everyone else was saving fuel. Now, the extra 5 laps of the race meant that many people thought you could just really save a lot of fuel, make it in 2 stops. You could, but you had to slow down. Charlie Kimball didn't slow down, and that put him with no yellows in this position.
And 67.9, Pagano 67.9 plus 5.5. Got around.
5.5 is the gap between first and second, Kimball and Pagano. And as we mentioned, Charlie didn't race here last year because of injury. He has only had 1 race finish here, and that was 11th. So don't worry about the top 10 or podium. I'll just go straight to the top step of the podium.
I love it, and you've seen this coming for a while now. I remember 2 years ago at the Indy 500 following Charlie on the final stint of the race and just being thoroughly impressed with how confident and composed he was for a guy without a lot of experience. And this is really just an incredible celebration of all that work.
And while there's plenty of space up front, it's still pretty intense between Castro Neves, Andretti and Dixon. Championship contenders. We'll tell you about that when we come back and go to the end.
Want to pay less for fuel? Sign up free at fuelrewards.com.
Your car may have been born in 1997, but give it a new set of Firestone tires, and it could feel like it's fresh off the lot. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Woo! Sign the waiver.
Waiver?
Two seats, one for you and one for racing legend Mario Andretti. The fastest seat in sports sweepstakes. Enter for a chance to start an IZOD IndyCar Series race at shophonda.com.
Shark Hunters, all new episode, Wednesday 10 Eastern on the NBC Sports Network.
Formula One racing on the NBC Sports Network. Carnage has plagued this Belgian circuit, and last year was a reminder that danger is found at every turn. Formula One racing, Shell Belgian Grand Prix, live, Sunday, August 25th on the NBC Sports Network.
5 laps to go, 5 laps to go.
You heard the call there, 5 laps to go at Mid-Ohio in the Honda Indy 200. Charlie Kimball is your race leader. Simon Pagenaud is second, and Dario Franchitti is third. Will Power, then the yellow machine there of Ryan Hunter-Reay. But this is where the fight is on. The top 2 in the championship here, 5, 6, and 7 in the race, but it's all about the championship picture. This is going to get intense, and Justin Wilson has pushed to passes up his sleeve. He's not worried about the championship. He wants to get as high as he possibly can. He's not worrying about spoiling Dixon's day or Castro Neves. Kimball, it's his 45th career IndyCar Series start. Charlie Kimball, you're an IndyCar race winner. Kimball wins at Mid-Ohio. A family steeped in motorsport now has an IndyCar race winner in it.
Strategy, boys. Woo! Awesome job.
Chip Ganassi, Tom Wirtz, Brad Goldberg, they are celebrating right now for their man Charlie Kimball. In the same year he wins the Rolex 24 at Daytona, he gets his first IndyCar Series win. And the entire paddock will be delighted for him. Meanwhile, things take even a more serious stance here with Dixon and Castro Neves. These are the 2 title contenders.
They are, and they both burned every push to pass left in the system, and I'm afraid for Dixon, Castro Neves is going to be right in front of him at the finish line and extend that championship lead.
Elio squeaks out another couple of points on Scott Dixon to extend his championship lead, but the day belongs to Charlie Kimball. Kevin.
Well, there are tears down here of joy in the 83 pit. We said before the race, Ganassis have won this 8 times, but don't forget about Charlie Kimball. Kathleen Thompson, you've been with Charlie for so long. He has waited so long to get this. Now he's broken through. What do you think this means to him?
Well, I know one of his goals this year was to win the race, to win a race, and I'm just so happy and proud that it came here after he broke his hand and wasn't able to race here last year, so I'm just so happy for him.
As with every young driver, any young professional, people doubt you along the way. People, I'm sure, doubted Charlie. Now he's proven something, hasn't he?
Definitely.
Congratulations. Enjoy. Headed to victory lane. That's Charlie's girlfriend, Kathleen Thompson. Marty?
Well, let's grab Chip Ganassi. And you were so excited, Chip, that you actually fell off the wall trying to get there.
I was so excited. I was going to run across and throw my hat across the start-finish line.
Here's your action. Oh, that was not good, Chip.
That was not good. That was not good. I'll tell you, I'll take it. I don't care, man. The kid won this first race. That's huge.
How big is this for your young man, and how proud are you of him right now?
Really big, and I'm really proud of him. He crashed yesterday morning in practice, and the team came back, did a great job. That kid's an unbelievable kid, what he did.
I see the emotion from you. What does this say about the future of Ganassi?
Well, I mean, we're okay.
We're okay. I think you're a little better than okay. We'll let him go celebrate. Clearly, tears coming from underneath those sunglasses. He's going to go celebrate with his young driver right now.
Think about what that man's team has done in the past few weeks. They got a 1-2-3 at Pocono. Scott Dixon swept the entire weekend at Toronto, and Charlie Kimball wins at Mid-Ohio.
Great job, guys.
And you know how good that must feel for Charlie to get that hug from Chip. You know, that must feel so good.
Those don't come easily.
No, they don't.
And for Chip Ganassi to say what a job this kid did. And he won by 5.5 seconds. Charlie Kimball is now an IndyCar race winner. He flies the flag for diabetes. He's the only licensed IndyCar racer, the first IndyCar racer to have diabetes. He's a proud ambassador for the cause and for the cure, and to say that it's not going to stand in your way to stop you from doing what you want to do in life. And this is massive for he and for Novo Nordisk and for Chip Ganassi Racing and the championship. Our 4th different first-time winner is Charlie Kimball.
We're going to let Charlie Kimball get all these photographs. This is a photograph that he's going to remember for a long time, and the emotions, getting the high five from Chip Ganassi. Come on down here. And, you know, not only your first career win, but in a style that your team
started in a rather unsatisfactory manner for Charlie Kimball. Look at this. A wet track caught him out at turn 1. He smashed up his primary car, had to go to the reserve, put it in the Firestone Fast 6, raced hard all weekend, and in this one he came out, he knew his biggest challenger was Simon Pagenaud, and that just underscored how hard he was pushing for the win, coming around, and then he was in Pagenaud's draft, a decisive move, and he never looked back. Charlie Kimball, our most recent race winner. So much more from Mid-Ohio. More interviews coming up. It's a day that Charlie Kimball from Chip Ganassi Racing will remember forever. His first ever Eyes on IndyCar Series race win, and he joins a growing list now of first-time winners in 2013. James Hinchcliffe added to St. Pete at Iowa and in Brazil. Sato won Long Beach. Memorable scenes there. Pagenaud in that doubleheader at Detroit in the second race. And now here in the Honda Indy 200 at Mid-Ohio, Charlie Kimball. He was chased down by Simon Pagenaud, another first-time winner, and he's with Marty.
Well, I'm sure the one Simon Pagenaud will be playing back was the pit stop after lap 73. You came out. You're on cold tires, but tell me about that pass that Kimball made on you.
Well, you know, I got to say, Charlie did a fantastic job, and him and Ganassi had a little bit more today. I mean, I gave him hell, but well, man, that was a bold move, and I didn't think he would make it, but he did. I mean, it was a great move from him. I can only congratulate him because honestly, I gave him hell today. It was 100%.
A run like this, what does it do for your race team, especially heading to a track at Sonoma where you're very good?
Yeah, it's good. You know, we've had our first win in Detroit. Now we're second again here on the road course, so we're showing some strength. I'm very happy. I think it's great for the championship today. We've been here all year long, but it's good to be on the podium again and just show that we're here, and it's good for Honda. You know, 1, 2, 3 is amazing at home.
A nice second place finish for Simon Pagenaud today.
With our 4th and 5th place finishers, Will Power 4th, Ryan Hunter-Reay 5th. Ryan remains 3rd in the championship. Both of you guys, same strategy, 2 stops, no cautions.
Yeah, you know, we were like kind of the responsible, disciplined ones, getting out there, saving fuel early, trying to make up some ground that way so that we can go hard later. But we never got the yellow that we needed, and we stuck to the 2-stop. Didn't work at all. Everybody that went hard and had fun racing all day ended up at the front, and yeah, we were just running around saving fuel all day. It wasn't too fun in the car, but these guys have paid off a lot of strategy for me. I can't complain about it. I mean, we just picked the wrong one today.
Well, hindsight's 20/20, but going in, wouldn't you have to assume there's going to be a little bit of caution somewhere?
Well, actually, of late, no, because I mean, especially around here with you know, so much runoff. But yeah, I mean, we were kind of going to do what Ryan did. If he went, we go, and if he saved fuel, we try to save fuel. But yeah, I mean, man, it's disappointing starting in the front, and it's not fun racing, lifting all the time, saving fuel. But still happy for the Rising guys, the best finish we've had in a while, and we've got to get them next time.
Solid runs for both of these guys. Will Power 4th, Ryan Hunter-Reay 5th, still very much remains in the championship chase.
And Kevin, no doubt there'll be some head scratching from some of those established drivers like that. But one thing will be universal, and that is joy for Charlie Kimball. A lot of people proud and pleased for him to win for the first time. If you're Charlie Kimball, it's all about celebration. First ever IZOD IndyCar Series race win, and he's been getting congratulations from everybody. As he's acknowledging the crowd, Graham Rahal, his teammate last year at Ganassi, says, well done, awesome performance. Graham Rahal knows what it's like to win an IndyCar Series race, and his 4-time championship winning and 3-time Indy 500 winning teammate Dario Franchitti says, well done, mate, well done. That was an outstanding victory. And Marty spoke with Dario while we're away in the break.
Dario Franchitti was the first of the guys planning to do 2 stops to bail on that. Was that because you were the first one to break away how you got this podium?
I believe it was, yeah. I mean, I think, you know, Charlie and the target cars were always going to split strategy. That's what we discussed today in the meeting, and he did that. He drove a beautiful race too, so congratulations to Charlie Murphy, man. That was a beautifully driven race there. But, you know, by even doing it 2 laps maybe earlier than Scott, that got us the podium. Another couple of 3 laps later, we might have been outside the top 10. It was that close. So brave move by the target boys there. Yeah. G car was fast, so we'll take the podium and just keep trying to push and see if we can get that first win.
3 podiums in the last 4 races for you. Are things feeling genuinely different with the race team right now?
Look, you know, we had the pace. You know, like we've discussed. You know, Iowa we didn't have the pace. Indy we didn't have the pace. Milwaukee so. But generally we've had the pace. We just haven't executed. All of us. us. And we've started executing, and you know, just take the smallest little thing there to get us, I think, back in victory circle. So, you know, the target team is pretty happy, and obviously, you know, Charlie too, with just a great job again by him today.
No doubt they're executing right now. A win and a third for Ganassi today.
Well, you talk about executing. Of course, we talked before the show about executing, rolling the dice. You said that Roger Penske was the master of strategy. He chose the right one today.
Yeah, not only that, Roger's awesome, but John and Jonathan did a great job, even with Ron and the whole team. You know, we're really focused on small details. Unfortunately, qualifying, we took a little bit of gamble. It did not pay off, and I said, you know what, let's start all over again. And today, when we show how strong we were, unfortunately, I mean, I feel like we won the race because 6th place from 15 or 14 that was an awesome. So I want to thank all the guys, you know, V-Power, Hitachi, PPG, SKF, Verizon. They did supporting us, and hopefully we'll keep pushing so that we can continue open little by little, open this championship in a big gap.
I heard you telling a few other people that came up to interview you about the significance of what happened with Charlie Kimball and what he was able to pull off today. Your take?
Yes, you know, people don't understand that this is a very competitive series, and yeah, the way he came and everything, he's proving himself. He has 2 teammates that they are champion, and the guy to win a race like that, Charlie, hell of a job, man. Great job, and you keep it up, and thank God. I don't want you to keep doing that. So, well, right now, maybe yes. You gotta be your teammates because it will be good for me. But great job, Ganassi, and but Team Penske also bouncing back.
And of course, speaking of that, he maintains that championship point lead. If you look at the way that it breaks down, he actually gets a little more of an advantage now. 31 points over Scott Dixon. This is, of course, post-race. This is shaken out nicely. Very nice.
Justin Wilson, our Ryan Briscoe, Ed Carpenter. Drivers who know what it's like to win. We'll see. More from Mid-Ohio right after this.
On the Indy 200.
And the Ganassi boys have just drenched engineer Brad Goldberg as his first IndyCar Series win as well, at the helm of the number 83 Novo Nordisk car driven by Charlie Kimball. That was good. Good teamwork from Dario Franchitti and Charlie Kimball, and the rest of the team scattered, and Brad took the full brunt. They'll be celebrating tonight. The Ganassi boys are a great bunch, and they thoroughly deserve that with the orange car, as it's quite often referred to. The 2 red cars and the orange car. Charlie, victorious today in his 45th career IndyCar Series start. Pagano on the podium, Franchitti, and it's a Honda clean sweep. 1, 2, 3. What must Power, Hunter Ray, those guys be thinking?
I mean, I just think that they're wondering, what do I have to do? You know, we executed for what I could do in the race car, but the strategy clearly didn't work out, and time is running out for them to work their way up in the points.
Look a little further down the order here. Simona just missed out on a top 10. Bourdais fought hard all day. Jake Servia, and one of the new guys, James Davison. That was his goal, to finish in the top 15, and he achieved it.
Yeah, great job, him and Luca Filippi, both rookies here, and both finished on the lead lap. So solid day for both of those guys.
It was a race that ran for 90 laps, and for the 2nd consecutive year, no caution whatsoever. It was green all the way, and the only retirement in the race was Tony Kanaan. He had a loose rear wheel, as was reported on the radio, and he parked it on the infield. No caution flew because of that smart driving from Tony Kanaan. Let's hear from James Hinchcliffe. He's with Marty.
Well, every